a lot of players have been banned this week because of a behavior that used to be kind of allowed. Macroing and kind of automatizing the extraction of upgrades from unidentified gear. How does this affect you? Let's talk about it. Subscribe to the channel for more on this, and let's get into it. So, what did people used to do? Well, here you can see a video of a person, actually Fendril, a very good YouTuber. You should definitely subscribe to him, explaining how you do this process. And I don't have an upgrade extractor, so I'm just going to use this instead. So what you would do is you grab the little item, you bring it to your upgrade extractor, and you will get the rune or symbol or sigil, on that gear. Then you can sell that rune or sigil, or you can instead salvage it in order to get certain materials like the charms of skill that people are so they really need, because of the fact that the legendary relic is coming. You get a free one for the rune, right? And you need the legendary rune to get it, and the charms of skill is part of that crafting process, right? Therefore, it's very, very profitable. You can actually, by doing this process, get an insane amount of gold by essentially not doing anything. You just buy a lot of unidentified gear, open it, then use all these items, drag them over and over again into this extractor in order to get all the profits. The issue is that this is very tedious. As you can see here, you would have to accept, then do it again, forever and ever and ever and ever, which is very boring. So what people used to do is that they would macro it. So they would press one button. Oh, I don't know what happened. You would press one button. The button would pick up the item. Then the macro would pick up the item by itself. Then you press another button. It would drag it to the extractor. Then press another button, and that will make it so it disappears, right? It extracts, right? And people would bind this to 1, 2, 3, so they would just press 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for hours and hours and make gold, right? Now, you might listen to that and say, "Wow, that's horrible." Of course, they would, would not like people doing that. But the thing is, one of the reasons why they do this is because the endless abstractor is very annoying to use. You don't have this issue with the with the silver fat salvage-matic. You just press salvage all. You could have the same thing with the extractor, honestly, and this was not the case. And because people used to do this as well, the prices of green unidentified gears were pre-up. They would just they were very valuable, and at the same time, all the materials that came out of this process would go down in price. So for me and you, it would be kind of a good deal. We would get, because honestly, I don't do this. It's too annoying. It's too boring. I'm not doing this, right? But other people would do it, and then green unidentified gears that you get in your metas will go by higher in price. You will get more gold overall to selling it to the trading post, and of course, the charms of skill, the symbols, all of them would go down in price as well. But they just banned everyone. Well, not everyone, actually, but a lot of people who were doing this in the first place. This means that people are kind of scared now to extract, to automate with macros this behavior, which makes them not want to do it in the first place. And we can see this because, wait, where did I leave this? You can see this. You can see this because the price of unidentified gear went down insanely hard as soon as the bans came in. It was like a 420, look at that, boom. And then boom, dropped down 30. Went up a bit again, and then boom, dropped down again. And it's kind of stabilizing around 3 silver and 30 copper or whatever. This will probably go down further in price, though. I'm guessing after the Obsidian Legendary, after the relic, after the patch comes out, because the Legendary rune no longer being as important. But we'll have to see. And I was talking to Enko and GuildMM, who are people who usually do this. Enko actually got banned only for 3 days. It seems like ArenaNet are using this as a more like a warning of, the guys, we're no longer okay with this. Don't do it, right? But the problem with this measure is that it doesn't really tell us what the problem is. It just tells us that overall, they don't want macros to be used. But there are a lot of macros in the game that are kind of allowed by ArenaNet. For example, there's a macro, a Blish HUD add-on that makes it so your Candy Corn Gobbler just does itself. That way it's not very annoying to use. auto clicker in order to open your inventory is actually allowed as well, right? So what does this mean? Do they mean like what do these bans actually mean? Do they mean like you can't use any macros at all to do this? Do they mean that you should not do it as, you know, too fast? Because people were doing it very fast. I think I've seen some of the bans. I can't really show them to you because it's private. But I saw some of the bans saying like almost like the reason why you were banned is because not because you were using it, but essentially because it's an unfair advantage. And by that they mean that, you know, you're doing it too fast. You're, you know, doing it not as fast as an actual human would be able to do it. It's way easier to press 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 than it is to click something, you know, drag it over to one place, drop it, and do it again, right? And keeping this kind of like, you know, not very clear makes sense, because that way people can be like, well, because if they're very, very clear on what they actually don't like, people are gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna do exactly not that, but technically I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm just gonna find a loophole, and that way I'm gonna go against what you're saying while still being able to kind of abuse the system, right? But at the same time, is it really that bad that they abuse it, considering that everyone kind of gets a better deal? We get better, you know, more expensive unidentified gear, which makes our metas and all the content better, I mean, and more profitable, and it makes them money. It makes the charms cheaper. I'm not really sure, actually. Maybe, you know, you guys can comment on that on the in the video, of course. But it's very interesting how this, you know, thing that would, you know, ideally, you know, it would make sense that you don't want people abusing your game, but because the system is a bit weird, it ends up being something like, what's the point? I mean, like, yeah, might as well. I mean, this is just positives, and there's no reason not to do it. I wonder if ANET maybe ANET didn't think about the economic repercussions that this would have. I have also been told that, because right now the way that people are gonna you know, process this unidentified gear is instead using the Rune Crafto Salvage-O-Matic, this one right here. But apparently that one, doing it this way, gives you a lot of tier 5s, which are very, very cheap. You know, Elderwood, Mithril Ore, all of these things are very, very cheap. And if we get a big influx of this, because people are using it this way instead, this will make those materials even more cheap, which sounds nice, kind of, but not really if not really if we are the one farming them and we just get, you know, like 1 copper per each when we sell it to the trading post. It makes almost every meta way less gold. It's a very complex situation, and I'm not really sure where I land on it, honestly. I have some people saying one thing, some people saying another one. It really seems like we're gonna have to wait to see how it develops. I would honestly be happy if ANET maybe didn't say explicitly exactly what they want, but say, hey guys, you know, if you use your macros, but just do it a bit slower, and, you know, not literally just spam the buttons all over, and, you know, you're essentially not taking an advantage over other people that don't have the macros. That would be nice. I think that would be very cool. That would be better. We also could have the situation where they could just fix, you know, the upgraded extractor so it actually is usable by just, you know, you get the extractor, you right click on it, savage all, boom, done, problem solved. This will make it so the extractor is insanely useful to use, and people will, you know, and I'm trying to think. I guess the difference, if they do that, I'm guessing that you know, it's going to be very, very approachable for us, you know, like me and you, to actually be able to do this process in order to get gold. I don't think a lot of people would do it because it's very tedious, but I think it might actually end up being something that will drive the prices in a correct way. But then again, at the same time, if that was the case, if they were actually gonna implement this in the game, why they started banning people for 3 days instead of just releasing it next week? That would have created the same result. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what's gonna happen. I kind of want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about all of this thing? And I want everyone to know as well, because I don't think I've seen anyone talking about this issue. That it's honestly gonna affect all of us in a direct way. Well, no, us not being very related to this. So I don't know. I did think about not posting this as well, because I was like, well, we don't have that much information anymore right now. But the thing is, no one is talking about it. So if we don't talk about it, how is anything gonna happen? So yeah, I'm kind of on a loss for words here. I'm not really sure how to proceed with this, but just spreading the information and spreading the fact that this did happen maybe will make us maybe arrive to a good conclusion on, and maybe ANET can actually also have a good idea of the situation that is happening right now. Maybe they need a bit more help on that one. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more content on this. Prepare for the beautiful Zero to Hero event that we're gonna have in our guild on an A and the U against, well, U is gonna be Teapot and I'm gonna be an A. So definitely try and go and follow us on our streams and join our discords in order to participate if you want to. Our video of that will come in very soon. Thank you very much for watching us. Subscribe to the channel. Tell me what you guys think. See you guys. Love you all. Bye bye.